The Mets recently made a trade with the Boston Red Sox for Eddy Alvarez, a two-time Olympic silver medalist, and it's worked out great so far, and I'm going to explain why and all of its corresponding moves along with it. Welcome, everybody, to this new edition of Mets Digest with your host, Michael DeAngelo. As you see on the screen, hope everyone had that horrifying week one of football past them and are locked back in on our boys in orange and blue because we are still gridlocked with the Atlanta Braves for the third and final wild card spot. They just split the first two games with Toronto, and that is unacceptable because that is a AAA squad that is out there for the Blue Jays, and they got to take this matinee game and leave because we got the two biggest series coming up, which is pretty much going to decide our season, and that is against the Atlanta Braves and the Philadelphia Phillies. So make sure for all things roster moves, trade updates, injuries, rehabs, all of that. Make sure you subscribe right here. This is your one-stop shop for everything Mets baseball. Me and Flobo Boys have been on top of everything so far. And this man right here is still alive and well. Guys, I haven't really talked to you guys since this whole 9-game winning streak, and we shot ourselves back up into the race. And now it's time to close the deal so that we can get to October. So make sure, we got to band together. Subscribe right here to keep up to date with everything. Let's get started. Eddy Alvarez, trade with the Boston Red Sox. We just gave him cash for him. He's like I said before, two-time Olympic silver medalist. He was on the USA baseball team in 2020, but in the Winter Olympics in 2021, he was a silver medalist in speed skating. And so if you guys don't remember, he was the one in that viral video with the Milwaukee Brewers of him rollerblading laps around the locker room after a game, or it was like before a game one time. So if you guys are able to recall that, that's Eddy Alvarez, and he is now with the New York Mets. I'm going to show you his stats. Oh, wait. Never mind. That's the wrong guy. Oh, no. Eddy Alvarez, he has no stats because he hasn't played any games in the triple. And I did that on purpose, by the way. He has no games in the major league so far this season. He's played, like I said before, previously with the Boston Red Sox and the Dodgers. But during his time in AAA this season, he has hit around like a 248 clip with 15 home runs. AAA pitching hasn't been a problem for him, but in his major league so far, first time starting with the Mets, he went 0 for 2. In tonight's loss to the Toronto Blue Jays. And now he's pretty much our cheap Jeff McNeil replacement. Remember, Jeff McNeil out for the year with a wrist. But what else came with it? Kind of spoiled it already before. But Pablo Reyes was DFA'd along with the move. And that's kind of disappointing considering that he was the one that was pulled up and selected during the September call-ups. Remember, he got called up over Luis Angel Acuna and, of course, Brett Baty because he is out for the year. But, we would have liked to see Acuna. I know most of the fans would have liked to see Acuna up in the majors. But with Pablo Reyes, I think maybe with Eddy Alvarez, they wanted to go with a little bit more speed and versatility in the infield. Eddy Alvarez has played all the way from second, short, third, and both corner outfielders. So another basically just basic utility man that is for our bench. But of course, Jose Iglesias will be still getting most of that time starting at second base. So you guys don't have to worry. But Eddy Alvarez in his Mets debut in the win against the Blue Jays did score the go-ahead run on a pass ball when he was at third base. And so it's already worked out great so far. And he's a high spirits guy, so a good man to pick up. But, of course, not the most ideal replacement that there is. Along with that came the return of DJ Stewart to the Major League roster. And that kind of puts the nail in the coffin now that none of the top prospects will probably be pulled up to the Major Leagues. Like Luis Angel Acuna and Drew Gilbert, too, has been making a lot of noise down in AAA as well. That's pretty unlike David Stearns. Like I said before, back when he was in the Milwaukee Brewers, we saw him aggressively pull up guys like Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff for a playoff push before. We did bring up the speculation that possibly Brandon Sproat could be one of those guys that's like that, where he gets pulled up for the bullpen for this push, and that doesn't seem like it's going to be the case. He's probably had some other influence around the front office telling him not to do so. And so far, it's kind of been working out. Not for the bullpen, at least, but Eddy Alvarez is going to end up becoming a fan favorite. I'm telling you guys, with the passion that he has, he said himself during the time where he got called up, he says he feels like that he's meant for something like this. He's meant for playoff baseball. A guy that can just bunt guys over, hit and run, plays good defense. Just that guy that's going to be a pest out on the field. And hopefully he keeps that effort up. As we saw, he was able to pinch run the other day, get all the way over to third base and score on a wild pitch. So I think Eddy Alvarez will be just fine up in the major leagues. We have no problems at all with our depth unless another guy was to go down. But, the outfield is back fully loaded. Harrison Bader, Starling Marte back in full swing. We're ready for this push, and they got to make, and their move needs to be made now, and to have a guy like this that can give you good spirits, another guy besides like Jesse Winker, it's all just adding up to be a good push for October baseball. And that is all I have for you here today from Mets Digest. Make sure you guys subscribe here to keep up with all the things like this post-deadline trade that just happened out of nowhere for this former Olympic silver medalist. And I will see you guys in the next video. Just get ready, because it starts right now, and I can't wait to see what the Mets have in store for us. Goodbye, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.